Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga section. I'm here today to bring you the review for One Piece episode 807 and 808, and now double episode obviously. And this has been known for some while, for a while. Like we had prep time to know about this, and upon finding out that there was going to be a double episode, I wasn't automatically excited simply because I was thinking, okay, this is a weird place for it to be a double episode. Usually, look, we don't usually regularly get double episodes, but when we've got double episodes, not just of One Piece, but of other things in the past, it's been in excited places. A prime example for I can give off the top of my head memory is the first time, well, not the first time, so Naruto had a couple, Naruto and Sasuke Part 1. When that happened, there was a double episode, so again, that was an exciting time to have a double episode. So knowing from reading the manga that Luffy versus Sanji itself wasn't an exciting fight, I was thinking, is this double episode going to be any good? And now I'll get on to the fight in a bit, but I just want to go back and talk just really through the whole episodes and my problems with it, because most of it is essentially problems. So my first problem with it was so much flashback. So much flashback from I understand what they was trying to go for. They was trying to build a concept of where we understand as an audience, um, just how much Luffy and Sanji mean to each other. But there was a lot of repeat flashbacks in between it, and how they did it was messy as well because it's like we went from Luffy's point of view all the way into when Sanji kicks Luffy off the quick kick also all the way up until Sanji kicks Luffy and he goes flying whatever, and then we have another flashback during them, but because we've been following Luffy for so long you think maybe Luffy's having, like, it's never clear who essentially is having the flashback. And then so when this happens now we have a flashback, and then this and then when we go back to real time action, we've actually gone a little bit back and we're now following Sanji. So it was a bit confusing, not a whole lot confusing, but a bit confusing at times. So, like I said, I understand what they was trying to build, I understand the concept they was trying to build, but for a One Piece vet, a One Piece vet, someone who's invested in the manga and the anime, this was just, you would clearly see it for what it is, and there's just time wasted. I'd say for an anime only watcher, you probably get that same time wasting vibe as well. The only people I would say that this was good for is people that have started One Piece not from episode one, so they jumped into the series. I don't know, whatever arc, Water 7 is a good place to start, in my personal opinion, and some of my friends in real life's personal opinions. So for someone who started One Piece at say Water 7 and haven't seen all the episodes before that, I'd say seeing this in this episode would have been good for them and only them. Anime only watchers, One Piece vets, they maybe enjoyed it, but I'd say the majority would have had a problem with that. There was a flashback when this happened within the manga, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have had no flashbacks whatsoever. Some flashback does help to build the concept that we're trying to build. I'm just saying that there was too much flashback, but there was moments within the episode where I think like the flashback was not just needed but helped. For a prime example of this was when Sanji had that quick flashback when he's just thinking about everything that's happened up until now, and then the next thing you know, he's kicked Luffy. I think that was probably the best time they used flashback within the episode. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't have had no flashback. I'm just saying that there was too much. So moving on to my next point, it was that there was there was enough for me to get annoyed. Too many repeat scenes. The scenes that I'm talking about is like Sanji getting kicked. I mean Luffy getting kicked, and the whole Sanji going into a speech about being scum, that was repeated. The whole thing where Luffy said he was going to fight back, that was repeated. Those are the only two I can remember off the top of my head. But there was too many repeat scenes, and it just made, for me personally, the majority of the episode was flashback of things I've already seen and known, and or repeat scene of something that was solely within that episode. So that's something I wanted to address. The next one we're going to talk about is Luffy versus Sanji. Now, it was the name of the episode, the main focus for building up to this moment. I did notice better animation quality than usual, but did I think it was anything in particularly special? Not really. I reckon we've had better animated scenes. Most people would be way down the line, but even closer to, I think, just Rose, I think we had better animated scenes within there. I am disappointed. I understand why Luffy wasn't fighting back, but I am disappointed that he didn't fight back, because when this happened in the manga, I was hoping that this would be a good time to kind of address how much weaker Sanji is against Luffy, but he was holding back for obvious reasons, so we didn't get that. So that was a disappointment for me. And then after going through this 40 to 50 minutes of One Piece, fairly disappointed with it, I thought, okay, this final scene will save it. This was by far the best of the episode for me, and the final scene, what I'm talking about, is not the anime music video with the. I'll get to it. When Luffy gets back up from being knocked out, that's a thing that we could mention. We know that. So I'm gonna go back to Sandy Best Sleep for a bit. Sorry about that. But we know Sanji wasn't going all out because he doesn't use Hell's Members. We know Luffy wasn't trying at all because he didn't defend, he didn't block, he didn't hacky up. But Sanji was able to knock out Luffy for a few seconds to a minute, I'm gonna say. So not much to go on, but we can go you can go on it. But back to what I was talking about the whole scene where Luffy gets up and he's shouting at Sanji like, your kicks didn't hurt, they only hurt you. That scene. The scene where he goes into saying, I'm not eating no more, I'm going on a hunger strike. I need you. Without you I can't become Pirate King. That scene was so touching. I loved it in the manga, but when you throw in that whatever that background music was, throw that in there as well. Oh my gosh. It was like on a whole nother level. I'm not kidding you. That background music made the whole load of difference for that scene. I was feeling it so much. I was like, oh my gosh. Catching feelings and all sorts. I was just feeling that scene so much. And then they go and ruin it. They ruined the whole episode. They ruined that scene. They ruined the whole episode just by how they added onto it afterwards. If it went, I needed you to become Pirate King, and then you see Sandy there crying, and just went boom, to be continued. That would have been a bad ending. That would have been the best ending they could have had for this episode. But straight after that, we go into that another flashback of all the emotional, well, maybe not all of them, but some of the emotional times with members of the crew. I kid you not. When that came up, because I like to watch my anime lying down. I like to be as calm as cozy as possible. I like to watch it, and I like to watch my anime lying down. When that bit kicked in, I got up. I was like, no. You ruined the end of the episode, and I can't believe you did that. There was no need for that scene whatsoever. And then you end with Luffy just there lying with Nami crying. I'm like, if you just ended it with the I need you to become Pirate King, boom, that would have been the best place you could have ended it. And another reason why I love that scene so much as well is because it's coming from Luffy. In the past, we've had members of the Straw Hats crew saying Luffy will be the one to become Pirate King. We've had that so many times, and this time it's the same concept of this scene, but this time it's from Luffy, and we know that Luffy cares about his crew. I'm sure he's shown that before, but this is like a new level of showing it. For him to say, I need you to become Pirate King, that's just a different level to when we have the crew member saying, yeah, my captain is going to become Pirate King. So that's another reason why I also like that scene. So that is actually not everything I've got to say about this episode. So yeah, we got 2 episodes this week. We're not getting one next week, but Was it worth it in the end of the day? I don't think so. I think it was just a waste of time, and I'm not judging them as separate episodes because if I did, I think the rating would be worse. So 2-star rating, calling it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. Like always, sorry. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.